I don't do intros. How you guys doing today? I'm doing alright today. Today I have a brand new build for you guys on the channel. This is my Sword and Board Lightning Knight build. This is a dex build sitting at level 40 with a ton of dex. Extremely high amount of dex. And I'm going to show you guys how I did all that in this video here. But before we get started, guys, if you guys wouldn't mind, go ahead and follow me on Twitch if you haven't already. I stream there sometimes. Um, Also, go ahead and join the PvPBuilds Discord if you guys want to communicate with me. That's the best way to do it. If you want to show me your builds or PvP clips, again, that's the best way to do it. And of course, guys, be sure to like and subscribe to the video, man. We're trying to get to 2,000 subs here on the channel. We're working our way up there, man. We're at like 1,300 right now. Appreciate you guys. And of course, if you guys are interested in the gear and stats and stuff like that of this build, one, you can find it on the Discord, and two, it'll be at the end of the video. And with that being said, guys, let's talk about this Sword and Board Lightning Knight that I've made at level 40. One thing I will say, and it's pretty relevant to this clip that's playing right now, is as I've been doing level 40 invasions, right, recently, I've noticed there's a lot of people coming back to the game because of, ShadowOfTheErdtree and whatnot. There's a ton of overleveled phantoms that are just like full Millennia cosplay. I don't know why. This is like the third or fourth guy I ran into who are just like they're Millennia simps. I don't know why they're Millennia simps, but they're Millennia simps. Anyway, let's talk about the build. This build is a lightning dex build, and we got our straight sword on, we've got our shield on, and we're here to parry people, going for those high crits. As you know, lightning damage does scale with dex in this game, and I have an extremely high amount of dex, and I'm only level 40. I believe we have 50 dex when we pop our flask. You might be wondering, how the hell does this man had 50 dex when he pops his flask at level 40? You must have just dropped all your points into dex and just ignored your vigor. Well, that's not true. I have 35 vigor on this build, as well as 50 dex. Hello, alarm. I apologize if you guys heard that. My alarm just went off. It is 7 o'clock in the morning for me. I just woke up and I just started doing commentary. I don't know why I chose to do this, but here we are. um, Anyway, guys, so there's a lot of talismans in this game that increase your dex, sometimes by 5 points, sometimes by, actually, I think the most is like 5 points, but I believe there are 3 different talismans in this game that increase your dex. So we have Radagon Sword Seal, we have Millicent's Prosthesis, and then we have, what is is it Heirloom Talisman? I don't remember. It's the Dex Talisman. Anyway, all of those talismans increases your dex by 5. That's 15 dex points. Coupled with the fact that you can pop the dex knot tier, dexterity knot tier, and get another 10 points of dex. So that's 25 dex you can just have on your build. So obviously I went up to 25 dex on my own, and then I just used all the talismans to boost my dex even further. But this build has another quirk about it as well, because we're not just using a shield just for looks and to block people and use guard counters and whatnot. We're using a shield because we want to parry people, and we have fat crits on this build. So there's a couple different things that we're doing to improve our crits. One, the main straight swords that we use on this build are the Noble Slender Sword and the Lord Sworn Straight Sword. Now, I know you're seeing me use the Warhawk Talon here. I mainly have the Warlock Talon on the build because it's just a clean sword. It has a really good moveset on it. And I wanted to try it out, man. I don't think I've ever tried the Warhawk Talon out. And you see me getting a parry there with it. It's pretty clean. But the main reason why we choose the two that I mentioned before is because those two swords have a slightly higher crit modifier. As you see, I'm using it here, the Noble Slender Sword, than the other straight swords in the game, like the Warhawk Talon or the Longsword. which you know, this guy's using the long swords. So that means their crits are just slightly better. And then we are coupling that with the dagger talisman to boost our crits even further, and not to mention the fact that we have extremely high dex, and lightning damage scales with dex, and lightning damage does pretty good on crits as well. Especially if you're like in the rain or you're standing in the water or something like that, lightning damage gets boosted. There's a ton of like reasons why lightning damage is just so like really good in Elden Ring. It doesn't get like weakened by anything. Fire damage gets weakened by a lot of things. Lightning damage does not get weakened at all. It only gets boosted by water. So yeah, there's that. I'm not sure if anything else gets affected. I think it's just lightning and fire. I could be wrong. I don't know. Fire is weird in this game because, you know, Ghost Flame is a thing. It's a fire that causes frostbite, and literally doesn't do anything that fire is supposed to do. Like, it doesn't get weakened by water or anything like that. So, you know, Ghost Flame is just weird. I have a different build if you guys are interested in Ghost Flame builds. I have one as well. You know, I've made a build just about for everything in this game. So if you guys want to look at the channel, if you haven't already, and look for something specific, I probably did it at some point. Speaking of which, I think the next video I'm making on the channel here before Shadow of the Erdtree drops is that video that I've been talking about for a while now, about how I make my builds, my creative process and whatnot. Because you guys know that whenever I make a build on the channel, it's normally like very inspired by something, right? Like, it's not just your cookie cutter little Elden Ring invader build. No, it's like I really think about how I make the builds mechanically, and as well as trying to make the character fit within the game lore-wise. So this guy is like a banished knight. And you know, banished knights, they sometimes use lightning, like what's his name did, Commander Nile, I think it is. There's two commanders in the game. There's O'Neill and Nile. I can't remember which one's which, but they use lightning, and that guy summons banished knights to his arena in the Castle Soul, and they have lightning attacks. So lore-wise, it makes sense. I'm just not using the banished knight helmet. I figured the regular knight helmet looks pretty good, and I wanted to go for like a regular knight kind of vibe, you know, sword and board knight guy. Pretty simple, man. It's just a level 40 build. I didn't expect to have like such trouble with like over-leveled phantoms and whatnot, but there were honestly so many over-leveled phantoms at level 40 right now. I'm assuming this level bracket will calm down eventually when the DLC finally does come out. I'm assuming this is just like people running their friends through the game who haven't played in a long time, and they're just like at level 40 when I invade them. Over-leveled phantoms and whatnot, you know, carrying their friends so that they can play the DLC when it comes out. I think I'm gonna enter the DLC with my pumpkin pyro head guy, which is gonna be a little bit of a nightmare for me because I know that mesmer is gonna be a thing. And he might be insane, like insanely resistant to fire and whatnot, and I'm still doing it. The good thing about faith builds is that you can just switch your damage type, right? You have you have flame art, and then you have sacred damage. I might end up switching to sacred damage for some reason if I have to fight mesmer with my pyro pumpkin head guy. So that should be interesting. But yeah, I think I'm running through the DLC with him. And yeah. Tell me in the comments below what you're running through the DLC with your characters and whatnot. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you like this kind of content, it's kind of PvP content, it's kind of build making, invasions, PvP, duels, I do it all, man. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video, man. Go give me a follow on Twitch if you haven't already. Go join the PVPBuilds at Discord if you want to show me your builds or clips or communicate with me at all. That's the best place to do it. Yeah, guys, I'm just showing you my stats right now. I'm showing you I have 50 decks at level 40. But yeah, guys, with that being said, fare thee well, peace out, and all that fun stuff. And don't you dare go hollow, my friends. See you later, guys.